Well, it's been more than a year since the world watched images of people desperately trying to flee Kabul, Afghanistan, as the U.S. military pulled out of the country after 2 decades of war. One former Afghan military officer resettled right here in Kansas City as a refugee. He's found a new purpose in helping other refugees build a new life, but as KSHB 41's Todd Palmer describes, he's also facing an uncertain future.
The chaos that swallowed Kabul a year ago was more than a horrifying TV clip for the thousands who helped the U.S. and Afghan military fight the Taliban for 20 years.
When I went to my job on that day, and then no one was expecting that to happen, especially for Kabul.
We are protecting the man's identity because he fears for the safety of his family remaining in Afghanistan. A consultant with the Afghan Ministry of Defense working with the U.S. Embassy, he served as an advisor on cultural and military affairs after training with U.S. forces at Fort Leavenworth.
Suddenly, we saw roads, streets full of crowd, full of people, full of cars. The roads were jammed, the roads were blocked.
That made him an enemy in the eyes of the Taliban and their supporters.
There was kind of a rumor that the Taliban already entered in Kabul, and they started searching for those who support the U.S. government and also those who are a member of the Afghan government.
Fearing for his life and unwilling to jeopardize his family's safety, he went into hiding for 10 days before a former supervisor reached out to help reunite him with his family at Kabul airport for evacuation.
First, I paused for a few seconds, maybe a minute, and then I imagined the situation that, okay, if you stay here, what is going to happen to you? I knew the consequences. And then I said yes. And that is how then I followed up with him, and we ended up to the United States.
But that was just the beginning of a months-long journey to a new life. Next, he spent 2 days and nights with his wife and 4 children, including a 1-year-old daughter, in crowded conditions with little food or water at Kabul airport. Then came 12 days in cramped, sweltering conditions at a refugee camp in Qatar, before flying to Washington for a few weeks and eventually arriving at Camp Atterbury in Indiana for 4 months.
It's worth it. As long as we are safe and my children has a bright future, I would say yes.
Some friends he'd made at Fort Leavenworth drove to Indiana and brought his family to Kansas City for resettlement. But again, that was merely the start of a new, at times difficult, journey.
There is a lot to learn when you come to a new country. Everything works a little bit differently, even if you come from a place that is, a pretty Western industrialized place.
The language is the first barrier. Housing is another, along with a newfound reliance on technology. Trying to get a driver's license, finding ethnic food, and navigating school enrollment, among other hurdles.
I'm constantly amazed by the perseverance, the endurance, and the courage of those that we were receiving.
Jewish Vocational Services, Della Lamb, and Catholic Charities helped settle nearly 800 refugees from Afghanistan in the Kansas City area. Most have temporary protected status, which means they could be sent back to Afghanistan. With backlogs in special immigrant visa and asylum programs, facing an uncertain future compounds their worry as Congress considers a pathway to permanent legal residence through the Afghan Adjustment Act.
So this comes to everyone's mind, so we cannot sleep with it sometime, that okay, they already know that we are in the United States, so in the future, like in the near future, if we were sent back home, so what is going to happen to us again?
Instead of letting fear consume him, this former Afghan Army officer channels his experience into helping other refugees as a case manager with JVS.
And I decided that, okay, if you are safe now, your family is, your immediate family at least, is safe here, so then go ahead and help others.
Todd Palmer reporting. Now, Missouri Senator Roy Blunt and a bipartisan group of senators recently proposed the Afghan Adjustment Act. It would create a path to permanent legal citizenship for refugees who fled the Taliban after helping the U.S. war effort. For more on this story and ways to help refugees right here in Kansas City, head to KSHB.com or download the free KSHB 41 News app.